It all comes down to this: the final game of the night, and the winner will go through to playoffs. The loser is out in group stage. It's Sacramento State versus Washington State here, both 1-2 in their last matchup, though. They played on Ascent, and Washington State beat Sacramento 13-7. And so Ascent, as you might have been able to predict, was taken out of the pool. We are headed to Haven now, worst, where we actually haven't seen Washington State play yet. Oh no, we have seen them. Pardon me, we have seen them play there, and they lost 11-13 against St. John.
Yeah, so not obviously they just lost 11-13 against St. John on split as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
So kind of been a thing for them so far today. But
Hmm.
going into Haven, they have some experience on the server today against a very good team in St. John's. We're going to see what they can bring to the table because if unless I'm hardly mistaken, which I should not be, whoever wins this is going to be going into playoff bracket, and whoever is not is going to be eliminated. So I
Yep.
mean, it's a very high pressure match for them to kind of take this out. So going to maybe a more comfortable map for them outside of like obviously banning away Fracture, banning away Breeze, getting away those maps they're really not comfortable with, but
Hmm.
going to something like Haven, which has been in the game for since the beginning, since beta, um, trying to just work around with it and see what they can do.
Yeah, Washington State definitely are. They seem like OGs. They are always banning or not choosing not to pick the newest maps possible. They ban Fracture and Breeze every single time so far in the group stage. And so, if Washington State do go through, we got to watch out for them in those best of series, because if you can get one of these maps against them that they're clearly don't feel comfortable playing on, you might be able to do some damage. So we will see. As we said, this is the most important match of the day, and it's the last one. So if you've stuck around this long, thank you. And you are about to get another banger. It's been so close, worst. All of these games
Yeah.
have been so competitive. The 13-7 is the most of blowout we've seen. And yeah, some of those were a little bit one-sided, but as we kind of get into the day, we get closer and closer. And in particular for, the likes of Sacramento, they have been playing a bunch, pardon me, in terms of Washington State, they have to play a second map in a row after a very, very difficult map to play mentally to get through. They have to play right away again after just this short break. Both of these teams have played a lot of Valorant already today.
I'm gonna be interested to see what kind of looks we're gonna see just in Agent Select. We could see Double Omen coming out here. That would be typically you're gonna see Jet, gonna be seeing Sova. Those are like two must picks on a lot of maps right now.
Yep.
There's very few maps where you're getting away with not having both of them, but maybe not having one or the other, right? So
Hmm.
Split is probably like the biggest example of not having both of them is Split. Where you can
Yeah.
get away with not having Jet and you don't want a Sova on there. Sova's like actively not great on Split. The only map he isn't. And so we're going to be seeing a very similar compositions, just comparatively. Obviously, Demetrius has been showing off the Reyna, no KO for them so far. So going to be throwing off the Reyna as well here. And I could see very similar lock-ins coming in for Sacramento, right? You just throw a Jet, you throw a Chamber in there, and bam! Yep, throw a Jet, throw a Chamber, and then the only difference will be your KO
Choose your
as
agent.
kind of an initiator duelist with
Hmm.
those flashbangs themselves. Unless I want to throw a wrench in with that Neon, that's a Team Liquid special. Don't think we're going to see that here.
Seems
Yep.
unlikely. Yep, there we go. So yeah, it's the KO over the Reyna, which there is a flash that we got two flashes on each team. There's the Reyna and Omen over in Washington, and of course the Omen and KO over on Sacramento. So that's what you're looking for in terms of those attack. Now Washington State, it was Sacramento who ended up picking this map, and Washington State picked attack. So they want to be starting off. We've already talked about Washington State and their aggressive plays. Both Washington and St. John's were very one-track minded when they were heading up, in split in the attack side. So we will see if that continues to manifest itself on Haven as well. I enjoyed Washington State's ability to trade, to play good fundamentals as they moved in on attack on Haven before, but in the end, they did lose versus St. John's. So can they redeem themselves here and still make it into the playoffs up against Sacramento?
And do we keep seeing what we've seen all day from Washington State? These 5-man plays on the sites.
Yeah.
5-man fast execs, very Korean-esque. We kind of said that. And kind of saw that from the race play as well. Very Bunny-esque, if you will.
Sure.
Where it was just Bunny just blast packing in. The one where it was like blast packed into heaven with a sheriff of all things and then the double paranoia and still wasn't able to get anyone because of the sheriff coming off the delay from the blast packs was quite funny. Reminded me a lot of Bunny, but gonna be a B, I think it's gonna look like Spike gonna lag behind, but still, Util is here, and B side is one of the easier sides to like just take, but also easiest to retake as well.
Yeah, here's Demetrius swinging around, and instead of getting retake, they're going to try to push out aggressively. Demetrius has already found 2. That's a great little hit. And look at this. They're on C already. Washington State, this isn't the first time they've done this. They push directly into the site, and then instead of planting on B, they wrap through. But it's Kamugi and Crimson to try to answer back. They brought it back to a 3 versus 3 situation here with that Headhunter and that shorty. Kamugi and Dinsky trade, but here's D-Bands to get them back into an advantageous situation, and Dinsky finishes off as well back onto the Sova for this map. Washington State win the attack round. It's kind of a signature play for them from what I've seen. They did the same thing against St. John's. I love that look. I love the push into B and then the immediate wrap onto a different site.
Yep, it's something that's not often seen. On pistol, it's probably the most effective because it's you just have the ability to just run around with your guns.
Yeah.
Much more. You can see with Spectres as well, but into like Vandals and Phantoms, you can get shut down quite easily with the spray down. So, pistol round strat, very viable and very effective, as we just saw right there. And now, a Washington State classic. 5 people on the spawn gate trying to just run their way through as fast as possible. One does split off into short, but gonna catch them out, not looking the right way. Sammy, gotta watch out for short there. This is straight on the site. The absolute aggression coming out here has resulted in some kills going their way, but the round is over as quick as it started right there. And Washington State really just want to put the foot on the gas.
You know, we've been smack talking Reyna all day, but it is a lot of fun to watch these two players who are clearly very experienced on Reyna. In particular, of course, Demetrius, but we did see St. John's bring out that Reyna as well. And yeah, you know, the way that they use that dismiss, Demetrius goes out, shows for a split second, and then dismisses to get deeper into the site, completely throwing those defenders off guard. So cool to see. Washington State, of course, were on the guns up against the pistols there. Now they're on the bonus with Spectres. Can they break the trend? Can they break the mold and finally win a bonus round today?
Gonna win one of these is the question. Last round of the day, last game of the day, and the most important game of the day, you might even say. But Sacramento looking to shut that down, in particular Kamugi, with the operator on the 3rd round here. Believe it's half armor, but could not be. Paranoia trying to clear out Garage. Not trying for a push, but just to delay as the KO flash is going to find its target. Full blind coming on the re. No peek. Again, just the delay with the dashes that come out from Loaf Main. Getting a little bit too close right there. Pick the Phantom. Doesn't find the spray down. Now it's Dinsky. All on their lonesome 1v4. No spike in their hands. And it's quite a sad Sova right now. Just like, what do you guys want me to do?
Yep, we are continuing the trend, rather. It's going to be the bonus lost once again. Dinsky's the only player remaining, and with a Spectre from there, basically nothing you can do. So, all the kills coming through towards mid in that round. It was Sacramento to obviously get the lion's share of them. Washington State tries to sort of, you know, they're trying to brute force their way on with Spectres, and Sacramento do a great job. In particular, it was the KO delaying re with the flash as soon, because that Paranoia was on. So KO having the presence of mind and sort of the game sense to throw out that flash to counter the Paranoia that he had just been inflicted with. Very nice little play there as Dinsky trying to maybe grab an exit here. Goes around the corner and is defeated by Sammy. So that's going to be Sacramento with 4 alive on that gun round, and Washington State will have to buy up those guns.
Yep, and I am now going to see what do we see some 5 rounds in a row kind of style coming out here?
Yeah, that's
like
it. I mean, we could use it, you know, a little refresher, little bit of fresh air after all this one round for one.
I mean that's what we say, but before it was very like string into string into string for Washington State for Sacramento before on Ascent. So does that rear its head again? Like obviously St. John's versus Sacramento was St. John's versus Washington State was very back and forth, but previously these two teams very much streaky as Kamugi hitting a streak currently with the operator, going to be taking down that Sova and their way to gather a lot of intel. I mean, a Sova did at the beginning of the round, it feels so hard to take sites when you don't have that wall hack, right? That ability to just sense out where everyone is.
Yeah, nice job there by Kamugi. An aggressive peek once again. The Shrouded step to get out, and Crimson's trying to go up with the Iron sights being utilized here. Demetrius actually going to use this kind of distraction to push through. They're hitting all sorts of places at once here, Worst. Finally, Demetrius is unseated, but is the damage already done with D-Bands pushing up next to him? It's going to be the spike being able to wander its way over towards C, and here's Kamugi with the op, and this is just not the weapon you want to retake. The Bladestorm available, but I don't think Kamugi wants to go for this, and it's an unfortunate sequence of events for Kamugi to grab that pick, and still for Washington State to get the advantage here.
Really swapping it off for Vandal, but does get spotted out on the drop.
Very unlucky
out.
to get.
They looked away. Kamugi could be in danger here. Runs back.
What?
Whoa!
He got him through the wall. Kamugi got him through the wall. That is the most unlikely situation. But Loafmane is coming through. Loafmane sprays through the smoke and gets him, shutting down what would have been a complete divine intervention of a round. Kamugi, I cannot believe that almost just happened. But it's Washington State to get the third, and oh man.
Oh my. If they had the spray down on the chamber, hitting right through the wall into a spray through a smoke to clutch out that round, that would have been incredible, but not gonna find it. The response is there from Washington State after that last gun round, and now Sacramento back onto a force/eco round, and gonna be trying to send it up mid. This is pretty good on eco rounds because you want to get in their face, but if Washington State, if one player isn't there, none of them are there. They're just 5-banning it again down to A. You have to be kind of, if you see one of them, you know where the rest of them are, right? So probably sensing they're over to A, probably sensing this is the problem. Like, if you see one person, you should be able to determine what their entire strategy is. But with Washington State, you can.
You don't need to watch a lot of tape for Washington State to figure out where a lot of these positions are. Kamugi has those blades out. There's still the chance here with Crimson on the Headhunter as well. It's the tour de force being picked up there by the opposing chamber. Loafmane's already deep into the site here, and D-Bands indeed makes that tour de force work for it. There is going to be Kamugi going up once again, and Loafmane goes down to the blades. Here's Jason Ive trying to come around, but Ree gets the better of him, and Demetrius as well finds the kill. Kamugi needs to do so much here in a 4 versus 2 situation. The blades are out, and the players are posted. Here's Demetrius putting it into a 1-player only clutch, and that's going to be Dinsky to shut it down. So the Bladestorm not going to get any value, just the 1 kill right up over the top. It was a nice one there, Worst, but if it's the only one, then you kind of regret pulling out those blades.
Yeah, and now that's going to be the streak we see starting up for Washington State. We've seen this before for them in this matchup. Does it set on Haven is the question. And it would be kind of crazy to think that the last match today is the one that falls the most flat, but we're hoping that is not the case. Want to get some amazing Valorant to end this out. And again, the winner of this is going to move on to the playoff bracket, and the loser is unfortunately going home. So there's a lot on the line right now, and the op shot going to be missing. Not going to secure the advantage in this round, and 19 health on Kamugi instantly taken away with a spam from Demetrius, and now A site is vacated and a little bit too hazardous to kind of reapproach.
Yeah, exactly. Very difficult to get back in here at this point. The plant will go down, and the shock dart is not on point. Won't find any damage at all. And Ree uses that shrouded step to get up and catches Jason Ive off guard. That's going to shut this down even further. It's Uzui back in a long, and Uzui does have a chance here, but with Crimson finding that kill and then getting traded, it's very hard to see their way back into this. Sammy has done some impressive stuff in the past, but it is a 1v4 on the cards. Very unlikely. There's one Demetrius with the trade, and 5-1 for Washington State. And you asked, and they delivered. It's 5 rounds in a row there for Washington.
We've seen this before for them in terms of how many rounds they end up getting.
Yeah, pardon me.
I mean, that was like almost like it was like 5-2, I believe, at one point.
That's right, exactly right. 5-2. Yep.
Yeah, and still ended up 13-7 at the end of the time, but still, Washington State very much ahead in the beginning here. The operator in D-Band's hand as well for this attacking side. I wonder if they're going to try to look towards C now. Look at that. Look where they're going. Look where they're posting up. Kind of doing a split here. Not something you normally see. As the tour de force instantly shut down. And that feels awful for Crimson. You're trying to get some momentum back here. You want that kind of that breach ult play, right, from the last map. But you don't have that with the tour de force now gone.
Jason Ive is revealed, and that's going to give them the go button right there. Loafmane goes up and grabs the shot. It's D-Ban's pushing aggressively with the operator here, and the plant will go down up against these, pistols. Washington State seems like they have this round done and dusted. The shorty is not what you want here. And there is Uzui actually getting a kill there. So at least Demetrius is taken away, but Kamugi tries to go up close and personal and can't get close enough. Loafmane finishes it off. 4 players remain for Washington State, and they go up to 6.
David just sees the shorty. He's like, no, I'm out of here. You can take it. You can take him. Does not want anything to do with that shorty right there. Just rendezvous out. And now we have dire straits now for Sacramento. This map is generally kind of sided towards whatever you're better at, and like individually as a team. Like, oh, you're a better defense team, or you're a better attacking team, that kind of thing. But it's a pretty good map in that sense. Not like a split by any means. And already Washington State is having an amazing attacking round so far. Only 1 round given over to Sacramento, and there's still plenty for them to gain. 9-3 is generally seen as like an amazing half. 8-4 is seen as a good half. 7-5 is seen as a decent half, and then anything beyond 9-3 is seen as like almost impossible to come back from.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And Washington State well on their way, but Sacramento have mounted comebacks before already today, and so we'll see if they can continue to do so. Here's D-Bands pushing way up. Operators pulled out by both of the designated oppers on each team, so that's going to be D-Bands playing so close though, and Jason Ive just needs to walk around the corner and might regret his actions there. Look at this setup for the defense. There's so many people in A-Link.
They haven't been hitting C much. They hit C one round, and then obviously the round prior they've been hitting C. They hit C, but besides that, haven't been hitting C all that much. Have been going towards that A site, so they're stacking for it. A little bit of a cognizance here as, it's going to be an A hit. Who could have guessed it? 1 in 3 chance. Not really, but yeah.
Yeah, so now Demetrius has already gotten the kill. If it ain't broke type of thing, Demetrius gets the kill already through the wall, but Loafmane is taken out. Crimson's spot on the shoulder. Here's Demetrius underneath, but Ree is the one to trade. It's Uzui coming through, and the trades come in thick and fast. KO is down, but could be rezzed. Here's Kamugi. Do you want to fake this, or do you want to go for it? There's D-Bands. Yep, the res will come through, and they got the smoke available, so it's a 2 versus 2 once again. D-Bands tries to come out, misses with the operator. The spike is still planted, though. D-Bands gets flashed out, has to teleport out of the way. Dinsky has the Hunter's Fury as well to deny the first plant. Oh, it's so close to getting one, but D-Bands is the one to punish. Here's Kamugi, misses the spray and goes for the right click. Dinsky goes for the kill. Great little 2v2 by the Washington State squad.
D-Bands goes down, but they have plenty of money. I mean, look at that economy. It is nowhere near rattled currently. A lot of money going to have to get invested here. Basically, a full buy here as the timeout does get started here for Sacramento. What can they do to get back into this game? 7-1 already. The best Sacramento can hope for is a 7-5, and that requires 4 rounds in a row, and their economy isn't in the best of shape. Look at Sammy's money compared to what they have available to them, and Kamugi and Jason are not. Kamugi, Jason, and Uzui are not in much better spots. So. I mean, Crimson is the only one that has the ability to kind of like full buy here, and even then, you don't really want to. The rest of your team can't, so you don't want to force this one up if you don't have to. And look how much red we see on that timeline. Yeah,
the B site there is being pinged as well. But yeah, absolutely right. And yeah, that is part of the discussion, of course, right? Sacramento deciding, do we want to force up? Can we bleed out any more rounds here on this defensive half? How confident are we in our attack is the question, that Sacramento have to be asking themselves, have to be discussing right now. And you can see, potentially the setup is going to be once again those 3 players in A-Link for Sacramento. And as you say, that has been the right read. They just haven't been able to make it work because you got Demetrius getting opening kills so often in these rounds. Demetrius is really killing it on the Reyna right now. And it is a full A stack with a half buy here coming in from Sacramento.
The Guardian going to be making an appearance here for Crimson. How much value will we be able to get? Guardian is kind of this gun that's like in and out a lot of the time. It's very niche right now currently. Some players buy it, and look at this A stack.
Yeah, full A stack, as I said. And yeah, the presence does sort of move over towards B, but it's a mid B sort of like.
But wouldn't you say this is like the biggest problem that Washington State has? Like, they don't have an info game. They don't know where anyone is. They could be stacked to any one of these sites. They don't know. They don't play info. And so that can kind of
Very
lead to
rarely.
like making these plays on B. Like C is wide open. Make info plays to C, and you know this.
Yeah, exactly. And then you could force that rotation as well. But yeah, no, they just go straight up one-track mind once again. Washington State definitely showing that. And it's a 4 versus 4 now, so Sacramento's totally happy with that on this eco to even get that one pick. Now, finally, the C rotation will happen, but now the defenders are starting to make their way over. It's still going to be the C site available, and the spike will be able to go down pretty safely. D-Bans is going to run into Crimson and doesn't have the time to stabilize that aim. That means they're going to be in an advantageous position, but trades it and equalizes once again. Spike is down, planted for long. Ree has a nice little spot here. Demetrius goes in, but Uzui trades. Benefits the defenders in this retake. Uzui finds another one, and Ree has to teleport out. But now he's alone. Will the defuse be able to come through here? He gets tapped. The spray starts to come through. Both of these players are hit. Ree starts to spray. Has to turn around. Is the stick going to come through? Uzui through the smoke. And that's going to be Sacramento with a thrifty round.
Yeah, and I think it kind of show like why Washington State's play or like style doesn't always work out. Like if they stack a site, they don't play info. They don't know the stack is there. They don't know where stacks are. They don't ever try and play for that info game. They don't ever try and suss it out. And right there, it kind of cost them. They delayed so much on B. The rotate came in from A, and then by the time they were on C, they already had rotates coming in. And then obviously, an unfortunate situation where D-Bands gets caught out in mid with that operator. Shouldn't have been there, in my opinion, but just call it out, and then the defense falls apart.
Yeah, caught in transit there, and just like clearly not mentally ready to be in a gunfight in that context. Because of course, if he had the op scopes trained down there, he gets the kill every time. But kind of on the move at that point. So now a little bit of info, like you asked for, but they're only looking for info on A, and this is the thing. This is why attacking teams at the pro level use defaults, is because they can suss this out, these types of setups from the defense. Here's D-Bands, though, coming in. It's been working out for him okay so far for Washington State, so can't complain too much, but in this round, it doesn't seem to be working quite as well as defenders start to thin out the herd already, and Sammy to push forward. Sammy gets traded. Demetrius gets a kill. How did it go so wrong? It's only Kamugi remaining now with the operator up close and can't hit the shot on Ree. It looked so good for Sacramento, but then they just completely crumble.
Yeah, they crumble in the end there. Now Washington with an 8-2. Again, 8-2 is considered very good, and 9-3 is considered amazing. Then anything beyond that is considered impossible to come back from, or borderline impossible to come back from. Obviously, it's happened, even in pro Valorant, it's happened. Yep. And it's definitely doable, but like very unlikely. So
can't rule them out, but yeah,
can't rule them out. But Washington State is like,
yeah.
I mean, they hit these last two rounds and 10-2. It is looking very good chances for them to win.
Should be said, Washington State are very much set up for attack.
Oh,
They're
he
only
didn't shoot,
real.
he didn't click.
He didn't get the shot off, and the peak came through. What a great opportunity, but it's not going to find the kill. Still a 5 versus 5, and that tour de force still available. So D-Bands now, again, you've seen this a couple rounds now, pushing up aggressively towards mid with the operator. So deadly on this position if they peek it in the way that he's looking for. But the A hit is just over and over. It's like a one-site game. Crimson does find a kill eventually, though. It's going to be Sacramento State going up ahead. Kamugi's got a great spot here, but do you want to go too far? Hearing a lot of info right here, and D-Bands is ready. Kamugi didn't see D-Bands, who was in B. That's a ridiculous interaction. But now it's going to still be the 4 versus 3 situation if the spike plant can even come down. Sammy peeks out, gets the info. Throws out the recon dart to try to find something. Loafmane is spotted, but shoots it out. Loafmane peeks aggressively and gets the kill. 3 versus 3 situation. Uzui makes that 2 versus 3. And Loafmane
30 seconds left.
Demetrius. Loafmane. Oh, Demetrius with the trigger discipline gets Kamugi with a knife in the back. And that gives them a 2 versus 2. And Loafmane will the 2 duelists. The aggressive players of Washington State. The fraggers come out. No 2 players you'd want more. And the plant will go down for free on B.
Yeah, I mean, gonna be playing for this connector area. Where is the Reyna gonna look? Is my question. Where are
There's
they
so
gonna go?
many options. You have no idea where this Omen is.
I think I would have liked it a bit more out in the open for mid, so that the mid position is a little bit better. Like it's very closed off. Like it really helps the Jet. Obviously, it's a good position, but I really would have liked it in a position that helps both of them. That can be available for both of them. Right now, just trying to catch it out of garage. Smoke comes down onto main. Reyna needs to move. Reyna needs to move right now before they're too late. Obviously, Jet could end it right here. Loaf main could just secure this round for them. The defuse is going to come out, and yep, Loaf main does it. Headshot through the smoke. And 9-2 is the scoreline going into the last round of the half. And Washington State looking to send a statement here in the last match of the day of this group. And to just secure this one out, 10-2 for the half, putting them in an amazing spot for the rest of the map. I mean, nothing could be better for them.
And what a 2 versus 3 from those two duelists. Demetrius, a thief in the night, somehow getting into garage behind Kamugi to put the shank in his back. And then they just play
crazy.
that 1v2. It's just why I would love to. I'll go back and watch that round because I need to figure out how Demetrius even got there. We're moving on, and Ree is already getting value. So good on the entry. Crimson has to find them, but Demetrius with trades. A 4 versus 2 again. Uzui needs to do a lot of work here and misses some shots. They go around the corner already. Ree goes through, and Uzui is down. It's Kamugi alone in a 1 versus 4. It's the last round of the half. Loafmane is already going up, and Demetrius has already got the kill. 10-2. You mentioned this is one of those score lines. Feels near impossible to come back from.
Yep, near impossible is kind of the name of the game, and for a team as good as Washington State, this defense should be able to secure them 3 rounds before Sacramento gets 10. Like,
yeah,
that's how it is. Like, you have to get 3 rounds before the other team gets 10. Like, if you get pistol, that's 2 out of 3 basically already, because you are very you are very heavily favored to win the second one.
Exactly. So. Yeah. It's not surprising that attack is favored, in particular for this matchup, because look at the team comps. It's so aggressive favored. You don't have a Viper, you don't have a Killjoy, you don't have a Brimstone even. Nobody to really delay beyond, you know, the likes of Omen with the smokes and maybe KO with the grenades, but not even a Raze to speak of with that damage utility to kind of slow people down, or a Cypher. So it's not surprising attack has been the favored half, but that's a great opener there by Jason Ives. Sacramento starting off well, and if Ree gets taken down here, which he does, Sacramento are on their way. Demetrius with a great kill. Dismisses to get out instead of healing. 4 versus 3 still in the post plan for Sacramento.
They want to play this. Sova's coming back. Looks like all 3 might be going for the retake from the same position, and so far Crimson shutting it down. D-Man still has Headhunter, obviously can find something, but under fire from 2 different members of Sacramento will fall. And the pistol gonna get picked up. That's the beginning of the road they need to bring this one back. I said if Washington State wins that pistol, I don't see it happening. And Sacramento denies that and is going to allow themselves an opportunity to get back into this game somehow, even if it ends up being maybe not like a quote-unquote fake comeback as some people call it, but I mean, trying to get some confidence up, you know, get some rounds under your belt. It's gonna be full Spectres, full armor, and yeah, just gonna be a pretty standard anti-eco here in the second round.
We had a look at the scoreboard there. Demetrius is killing it right now. So many kills, 17 in 13 rounds. It's been a lot. It's really been the Demetrius show for the last little while, and especially on this map. That Reyna, we've seen, you know, it's being expertly used. That's for sure. Crimson has to deal with this push, and Loafmane will trade. So 4 versus 4, and a lot of space gained, and actually Loafmane gets another one with the classic. Finally goes down. And it's only going to be D-Bands left with the Headhunter. It's, you know, you can't count them out, but it doesn't look likely, and so Sacramento appear to be securing this 4th round for themselves.
I go the Spectre? We don't like Spectres here. We want Headhunters instead, I guess.
Yeah, he walked right past it. Well, D-Bands maybe can hang on to that one.
Playing off contact, becomes still. Sammy plays it excellently and shuts that one down. 4-10 now, but here's what comes in, right? You're on a bonus, but you don't have many rounds to give. Do you just buy up on your members? Well, you really can't.
Yeah.
You really don't have the economic availability for that. You might just have to go, okay, we standard bonus this one and hope we can pull it out. Do we have bonus round strats? I haven't quite seen them just yet from a lot of teams in terms
We
of
haven't
having
seen
like
it from anybody.
yeah, dedicated bonus round strats that like surprise the opponent. I haven't really seen that yet. So I'll be interested if that comes out here in the final game. We're saving it for the most important moments.
I haven't been keeping track directly, but I don't believe a single bonus round has been won all day. And with these 2 pistols in the hands of Sacramento, it doesn't look likely that this one will be won either. Demetrius, did he manage to sneak by? He did. That's huge.
Wait, he didn't
take out Jason there, but didn't spot the other player. Has to be dismissed out of the way. Sammy's chasing him down. Sammy with the killer instinct pounces on his prey, but it's 2 defenders to find kills over C, and Ree to find one as well. It's Kamugi left alone with the sheriff. Such a good play for Sammy, but it will not pay off. And Kamugi needs heroics, which we haven't seen from him. And there we go. Loafmane goes up top. Kamugi goes down. Washington State stay alive with a bunch of guns and money. Sacramento now, plenty of money to buy up. Do you go with the operator here for Kamugi? Been pretty good with it so far, but on the attacking half, it's harder to use, and it appears they go with the rifles instead.
Rifle's a little bit more consistent when trying to clear angles and trying to go in. Obviously, it's going to be post up on angles and trying to get them into these power positions, but just getting them there is extremely difficult. So, going to just be rifles all around so far. A lot of Vandals are appearing recently. We didn't talk about much Vandal versus Vandal today, with me and you here together on cast, but I mean, it's kind of this nuanced thing where it's like personal preference at this point. I mean,
yeah,
we've kind of gotten past like the bickering and arguing about it, right? Especially with Viper moving out of meta, it's like,
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's only so many times you can rehash it. I do enjoy watching both guns in action. In this case, Ree is a Phantom advocate, finding the opener there. 4 versus 4 now, as Sacramento moves forward, and actually Crimson is the one to find the pick from long. And they move forward, but D-Bands is deep in the smoke. Jason Ive susses that one out, and it's a 4 versus 2 situation here. Washington State could go for a 2v4 clutch and put themselves on match point here. Get themselves into those playoffs early, but in this situation, it seems more likely. Correct answer would be to save, but there's Dinsky finding one. Wait, 2 versus 2. Hang on. Kamugi finds one. But Demetrius is the player remained alive. The Lear goes out. Kamugi finds the headshot. That was a dangerous situation right there. But it's Sacramento to come out on top with 2 players left. And Washington State cannot get themselves to match point yet.
Not going to get themselves to match point just yet. Comeback is in full swing. And I am interested to see what adjustments are going to be made on this defensive side. Like, do we start seeing stacks? Do we start seeing maybe some aggressive players on some parts of the map? I mean, C has been a very underappreciated part of the map here for both sides so far.
Except in pistols, interestingly enough.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a little more open. I don't know. This room's a little bit. There's some psychological stuff in there somewhere. But right now, as soon as I say that, they move over to C. They notice the lack of C was starting to get apparent, and so they swap it up. And that might just be the key to maybe Washington State taking out a round, but things start changing up, right? If you keep it the same, sometimes teams don't adapt, sometimes they do adapt. It always depends on team to team how they interact with these kind of change-ups.
Exactly. This time it's a slow moving round for Sacramento. Washington State are looking at this pace and saying, what even game are you playing right now? We don't know how to play this way. But Loafmane does find the opening kill. Ooh, Crimson gets double peeked. They're swinging around. They're disorienting him with their runbacks. He can't find the flick, but Sammy does find a trade back. A compliment in all chat for that one. 4 versus 3 situation. Reed does go out with the judge and gets a kill, but the trade is good, and it's Sammy with a couple of kills on the round so far. They head over to A, which is wide open for now. Sova is headed there towards Heaven.
30 seconds left.
No, it is Heaven already. Dinsky has made his way there and hit Sammy once. With 45 HP left on the man. And his buddy Jet is very slow to respond here. Jet's way off in spawn. Just getting there now.
In the low, do it is the question.
Last player
Giving away the
standing.
position, and Shock Dart's left them in 1v3, looking less and less likely, especially up against the Sporter Force. And Crimson through the box, gonna find the shot. 6-11. I mean, we say this, they've won so many rounds right now, they still have to win. Let me check. 6 more to even get to 12 right now, so it's a marathon, and it is still going on. They're gonna put Loafbane here with a operator in their hands, and they still have a lot to work with here. If Washington just wins one, it could actually hurt their economy really bad in terms of certain members might not have like full utility.
Yeah, exactly. So Loafmane has to get some stuff done with this op. We haven't seen it much come out yet. Mostly been the Chambers picking that up, and Loafmane pushing aggressively gets rewarded. That's Kamugi down. A little bit of an overpeak there. Just dry, swings out wide.
Nowhere to run!
And here's the Hunter's Fury, and it actually does find Demetrius for at least a tag. There we go, hits Loafmane as well. Great damage out of Sammy there.
Yep, still going to be going through, and again, 4v5 still though, even if 2 are tagged up. Not looking the best here for Sacramento, and this is exactly what Washington needs to shut this one down. We could still say the 13-7 ending. The lowest we've had all day, and it could still happen right here. This context being important. Paranoid does not hit Ree, and they don't know they're on the box! Oh, the step gets them into position, can't get them out. Now Loafbane with the operator securing their advantage in this post plant. On this retake, but it's not even going to be a retake. It's going to just be Azui by themselves. Going to be Shadows stepping somewhere, but
Shadow stepped into hell now. So Azui, I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but Demetrius is going to be caught out easily there. So nice play there, but the spike is wide open. Uzui, that's a great little play. Peeks out, but knows that the op is trained on his position, and he recovered the spike, but Dinsky is ready, has the shock dart out. Uzui gets away with such a difficult play there. The plant will be faked, be revealed. That's Dinsky. Very well played by the Sova. Does it all on his own. Doesn't even need the help of Jet. And we have match point. One more round takes Washington State to the playoffs.
Yes, and they're so close, right, to making it through. And in this last map, this mass match, this is going to be a big relief, and they can't let up just yet. They have to keep going. They can't let any opportunity for a comeback happen. And if Sacramento, I'm gonna do a little casting here and say, if Sacramento needs to get back into this, they're gonna have to start here.
Casting TM.
Casting
right
TM.
Out of the textbook.
Guys, this round, it's pretty important, guys. It's a pretty important round. They have to win this one to start going, and I mean, look at the utility you have on some numbers. I mean, Sammy doesn't even, like, Sammy just used drone there already out of the spot just to clear out long. They don't scale off of it. There's nothing to do with it. So utility already being used and finding not a lot of map position, not a lot of map value, but that does give them an opening here onto this C site.
See that damage? Demetrius almost got a double spray down there, but it's going to be Omen remaining with a sliver of HP. Kamugi is up close. Hunter's Fury will come out to deny the plant, but Kamugi's going to try to pounce on this. Going to go right through, but there are so many players. Goes out wide. It's Loafmane, so ready for that. Loafmane's like, how did I know? Because it's what I would do. Washington State in a 4 versus 3 situation, and the spike is planted. All 3 players on long. How will this retake be approached?
Going through. Everyone in the same spot once again. Defuse coming through. Spam is going to come as well. It's going to be the shock dart to start it out, and 3 already finds 1. Sammy, though, another shock dart going to be going in the back. Going to get a lot of damage. We're not going to take out him. This going to be Defuse going through. It's going to be it. The spam's not enough, and 13-6 is now officially the lowest scoreline of the day, but still an amazing day of Valorant all around for group stages of a collegiate tournament. I have been nothing but impressed.
Absolutely, and even in this map, it felt competitive a lot of the time. So many of those rounds went down to the wire. A clutch, a 1v1, you know, so impressive from both teams here. But it is Washington State who will move forward into the playoffs alongside St. John's. And so we have to say goodbye to Sacramento State, you know, and it breaks my heart because they really played such incredible Valorant today. They had to play so much in a day, and, you know, all 3 of these teams did an incredible job. But yeah, it's Washington State. You know, it was, we talked about those 5-man pops, those huge, one-minded hits that are going forward into a site. And even though there isn't a lot of depth maybe to those hits, they still find some nuances and they just find those gunfights that they need to make it happen. Great work, in particular with trading for Washington State. These guys could play some good Counter-Strike as well.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of great stuff going up there, and we're kind of seeing like this two teams playing amazingly, but like how do they do that in like the next bracket, right? The next bracket they go
Yeah.
into, and that'll be interesting to kind of see from their perspective. As we're gonna get Ree in here after a
Yep.
quick break, gonna get that interview going very shortly for you guys. Don't go anywhere. You guys want to hear from Ree, the amazing Omen player here for Washington State.
One last shot of the night. We are back with an interview with Ree from Washington State Crimson. Ree, welcome to the show, man. You have been playing a lot of Valorant today. How is the team feeling right now after all those epic matches?
Well, I do gotta say, none of my teammates really want to do the interview because they're all hungry. They haven't eaten since like 3 p.m., 2 p.m. or something like that. So I'm sure they're getting dinner right now. West Coast, yeah, sorry, West Coast. Yeah,
Oh,
we
there
are a West Coast team, yeah.
yeah, worst. You've been breaking it down. I don't know if you've got any strategical, if you've got any space in your brain for some strategical queries of Ree here.
I mean,
Uh,
I was kind of like have to talk with about you guys moving on to the playoff bracket. Obviously, going up like against St. John's multiple times today. How do you guys feel like going into playoffs now after today's group stages?
we're feeling pretty good. We have to definitely clean up our post plant. I think that was like one of our weakest things. With St. John's, I mean, it was like 5v4, 5v3, a lot of those situations, and like we have all of sight, but we just can't hold it. Um, so I think going into the week before playoffs, we should definitely be working on our post plants. Additionally, as you guys might have seen, 13-11 both times for St. John. So if we play them in playoffs, we'll be really excited. Get our revenge.
Nice. Yeah, that basically answers what I was going to ask, but I will actually bring this up, get a little more specific here because what something that both Worst and I noticed is that we were seeing very few defaults from you guys on attack. There's a lot of 5-man hits, a lot of just pressing the go button. Is that just a more comfortable style, or what's the logic behind this style of attack?
Yeah, so I would definitely say I'm like the black sheep of the team where I really love to play slow and default up. Um, Unfortunately, or actually
You're
fortunately,
outvoted
because
though,
it
eh?
fits well.
Yeah.
Like the other four of my teammates love to just rush in, play in the chaos. That's when they like really, really thrive. So yeah, we're definitely a lot more comfortable with that kind of play style.
I was gonna say I do love seeing me some Korean Valorant sometimes, but I would like to see it slow down a little bit. So happy to see that you're on board with that, but your team obviously play the style that you want to play, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's why I was gonna call like, but the Reyna, right? A lot of time, a lot
Mhm.
of people are moving away from Reyna. Is that just because of how comfortable you guys are playing around with the Reyna? Obviously, a lot of effectiveness today, and just kind of as a whole, what you guys think about your agent pool and agent like compositions that you see on different maps.
Yeah, definitely. Demetrius really loves his Reyna, and we love him on Reyna just because he's so explosive. Like um, last semester, when we were in this tournament, he would just carry on that role. So it's definitely a comfort pick for him, and we allow it because he pops off.
Yeah, we definitely saw some very impressive stuff. Some stuff I'd almost never seen at this level on Reyna from Demetrius. So definitely kind of won us over in the last little while. Well, we won't we won't make you stay for too long. You got to go join your friends and get some food in you at this point. So thank you so much. Congrats on getting through, and we will see you tomorrow.
All right, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Next week, not
All
tomorrow.
right, pardon me. Next week, not tomorrow. But
Yep.
anyway, in any
Give
case,
him a
yeah.
break. What do you want to see him
Thanks for
tomorrow? He
joining
just
us,
played
Ree.
10 hours of Valorant. You want to see
In
him
any
again
case.
tomorrow?
We are going to take off now. Thank you so much, folks, for sticking with us. What an incredible day of Valorant. Worst, before we fully sign off, any final thoughts on the games for today?
Just amazing games all around. I love seeing this level of play from the collegiate level and group stages. It's been a lot of fun. If you want to hit me, if you want to like just, hey, this guy was cool.
Yeah.
The ats below. Same for Wes. Go hit him up
Yeah.
as well. Follow him. He's amazing. He has amazing stuff. We have also producers and observer. We had Juke, who I'm forgetting the Twitter at something, but we have Time to Light on production, which is at TTL Casts, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So that's
There
where
you
you gotta
go.
hit them up on Twitter. Do follow them. They do amazing stuff. So that's where I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome time casting for EGF once again. Don't forget to tune in. There is some action going on tomorrow, though. Maybe it's not going to be WSU, but we are going to see some action tomorrow, 1 p.m. on twitch.tv/EGF Valorant. If you want to keep checking out Valorant, we also got Rocket League, both starting at 1 p.m. and 1:45. That's going to be EGF Rocket League and official EGF, those two Twitch channels. So make sure you tune in, follow all the EGF esports action that's going on over the next little while. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining us at the EGF Power Series, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Oh, can I
Oh,
make
hang on.
one
We're
last
gonna
shout out?
we're doing one last
Sorry,
shout out. Time to
one
light.
last
Are you
shout out.
live?
Okay. Thank you so much to the boys in back home for supporting me. I know a lot of them were watching the stream. I really appreciate it, and you guys push me to do my best. Thank you.
Love it. Thanks, Ree, for tuning
Yeah,
back
man.
in. That's so awesome to hear. All right. What better way to end it off than that? Thank you, everybody. We will see you soon.